Are we recording yet, Wayne? Okay. Okay. Welcome, commissioners, and welcome to the public, of which there is none. Secretary Markounis, would you do the roll call?
Commissioner Summers. Here. Commissioner Woods.
Here.
Commissioner Sly.
Here.
Commissioner Riggs.
Here.
Commissioner Buller.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Excused.
Excused. Commissioner Markounis. Here.
Okay, let's do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Approval of agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? I have one. We need to amend a minor adjustment. Need to amend the date of the budget approval, which is down here under H, communications. It says 26-27 planning budget board approved. It won't be approved or won't be acted on until the March board meeting. So we need to amend that to,
Proposal.
yeah, the 26-27 planning budget will be acted on at the regular March board meeting. So, Secretary, get it down? Okay. So is there any discussion on that? Any questions or? Okay, then I guess we'll vote on it. All in favor of accepting the agenda with the amended date, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comments on agenda items only. Seeing we have none unless,
We got that email from Glenn. Should that be put into the minutes?
yes,
I got a copy of it.
I've got a copy too. I didn't know if everybody, it was to everybody in the,
You need it or not for minutes? Shouldn't it go into the minutes?
yeah, that there
Oh,
was.
since this is, yeah,
Yes.
that would be helpful.
Did everyone get a chance to read the email from Glenn? It was on,
Yeah.
it was some comments on some agenda items. It was the tree, the next era tree proposal and the gravel pit. But when we get down to it, I can read it if everyone would like. Okay. So let's see. We'll need to, I assume we could just do one motion for all three of these minutes,
Yeah,
unless there's
discussion.
unless amendments. Anyone has an amendment? Well, we'll just do it by each one. We would need a motion to approve the February 3rd, 2026 regular minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the February 2nd, 2026 regular minutes. Is there any additions or corrections? Okay. So all in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And we'll do the same for the February 4th, 2026 Town Hall meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Roger, seconds.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to approve the February 4th, 2026 Town Hall minutes. Is there any corrections or additions? No discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. And then we have just some minutes on the 2/18, February 18th, 2026 lunchtime webinar. There was no business conducted, but there was a quorum, so we need to have some meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
So when I clicked on that link, all it did was take you back to the webpage, township webpage,
for,
the webinar, lunchtime webinar.
I guess.
I clicked on the link from Joanna's email, from this,
oh, really?
and it just takes you back to the township
Yeah,
email,
yeah.
so.
There's no minutes. It's just-
It doesn't work on the website though, the minutes that are on the
Yeah,
website.
that's what I just did. If I go here.
Oh, so you mean, oh,
Yeah,
I
I
see
didn't know if
what
they
you're
worked
saying.
on.
Here, click on lunchtime minutes.
Yeah, but if you go to like, they should be,
I'll go to
the minutes, yeah, I just want to make sure those are,
2/18.
might be somewhere weird on there.
Now you're back into January now. Go up to the top,
Go to the planning commission.
go to boards and commissions, planning commission, or minutes and agendas.
Okay. Sometimes it's. Okay, let me go back to the.
Yeah. Scroll down to planning commission, there you go.
2/17, those are
Oh,
board.
those are
That's the board.
There we go.
2/18,
There we
yeah, I just
go.
want to make sure it. Okay,
There we are. Okay.
We just need to get them.
Get that link fixed.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the February 18th, 2026 lunchtime webinar minutes. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to communication. As I stated, the 2026, 2027 planning budget is included in the packet that will go to the board this month for approval or adjustment. One thing I just wanted to notice that our planning and zoning budget has been significantly increased from 25, 26 was 68,600 and the proposed budget for 26, 27 is 103,290. And I think that's reflected in anticipation of a in-house zoning administrator. That's why that's been increased. And then, okay, is there any questions on that? No, okay. And then next item is the South Central Michigan, the SCMCCI evaluation. I'm gonna ask, I think we only have had 3. I'm gonna ask everyone to please do that.
I think it said the deadline was like March 8th or something.
March 6th.
March 6th, okay.
Says right.
I did that today.
No, I haven't done it yet.
I did mine today. too.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's just communication item that we like to get that done. Okay, new business. The gravel pit, Carr Brothers on J Drive. The PC is scheduled to take a tour. It's not mandatory if anyone would like to, but it's going to be, the tentative date is March 19th at, I believe it's
2:30?
2:30. And the details to come later. I don't know if we're meeting here, if we're all gonna just meet at the pit, or if we all wanna ride together, who all is gonna come. But I know, I'm pretty sure Shelley will be there. I think Joanne has set this up with Naomi Carr to take a tour of the pit. According to our ordinance, which we found kind of by accident a while ago, by ordinance, we are supposed to, should say the zoning administrator, is to do 2 inspections of the pit per year, and none have been done since they opened. And their special land use permit expires July of this year. And I believe they are going to come to the April meeting to give a presentation. So, but we are supposed to have an inspection, so that's where we're at with that.
Seems to be a lot of communication going on, which is a good thing.
Yes.
We've been behind on this for a while.
Yeah. And in Board Member Kowalski's email today, he addressed some concerns or some suggestions about the gravel pit. I think I'll wait till we get down to the tree issue to read that, so. Okay. Unfinished business. Mr. David Brown, special land use suspension. Last communication I had was that he has been issued the ticket for the violation or for the suspension of his land use, special land use permit. I think he was, I'm not sure which day it was in an email, but it was from Shelley and she had the deputy go with him, so they handed it right to him. So he has been in receipt of that. Okay. Okay, now we're down to the next era, Cereal City Solar proposal report. This is on the trees. So I'm gonna read this from Glenn. I'll just read the whole email and then there'll be some discussion on it. He said, I likely will not be able to attend tonight's planning commission meeting, so I want to make a few comments for you to consider as you wish. 1, next era trees. It is not clear to me why the next era Cereal City Solar site plan has not been followed as approved and some residents are allowed to opt out. It would seem that the time for input has long passed. Why isn't the site plan being followed? That's a question, not criticism. B, if we decide to utilize trees, shrubs elsewhere, I would recommend new plantings at the Township Hall to improve its landscaping, which is lacking. This could include supplemental plantings to whatever MDOT has planned along the property line with M96 at the Township Hall and Fire Station number 1 as needed. It could also replace some of the older shrubs and trees and possibly allow for some new plantings to improve the look of the hall. Consider a priority to residents along M96 where, again, supplemental plantings over what MDOT will possibly plant to provide a natural barrier to the road. Consider working with MACC and MPS to plan and plant native trees, shrubs at the Griever Nature Area as part of the ongoing township support of this nature area. Possibly offer the trailer park northeast of the Township Hall to improve its landscaping. And then he offered not to use Tim Vanfield's company for any plantings. Then about the gravel pit. Carr Brothers Gravel Pit North on J Drive between 14 and 15 Mile Road. I appreciate the zoning administrator's action here to catch up on the oversight and inspection that was lacking by the previous zoning administrator, Paul Anderson. It would appear that the group of gravel pits here, including Reith Riley, Carr Brothers, and others, has expanded greatly, and that the escrow account or bond for such mineral extraction expanded in size and continues to do so. I would recommend this be a part of the larger investigation of the area. The main idea here is to have a comprehensive plan for remediation of the land after the gravel pit areas are no longer in service. I believe this entails keeping all of the topsoil for the entire operation on site and to be used to reclaim the land in a manner that is acceptable for future use. I looked over the gravel pit on the northwest portion of L Drive and 12 Mile Road yesterday, and it would appear they have some type of plan. Possibly this Penfield project could be compared to for any ideas that could be applied to the Marshall Township site. Best regards, Glenn Kowalski, PE Treasurer. Okay, So now, if some of this stuff will probably be addressed in, back here, to the zoning administrator's report on the trees, the tree issues. If you look in the report, it says, among other things, the date outlined is August 29th, 2024. Paul Anderson received an email from Daniel Ettinger requesting an administrative adjustment to Serial Cities Solar's approved site plan to allow us to, quote, relocate trees intended for Mr. Staley's property to other properties within the project area in accordance with the recommendations of the township's landscaping consultant. And that was agreed to. So I'm going to go back to also in her report, what NextEra has proposed. There were 700 trees originally that were supposed to be planted along the two Staley properties, and they requested to not have them, and Paul agreed to that, but that they were to be planted elsewhere along the site. But there's been some communication issues on both sides that kind of has just, some of the trees, I guess, were ordered and they died. NextEra was kind of putting the question to the township. The township should have done something. The township is saying that just because our zoning administrator left, we still had a zoning administrator, which was Carl, acting as zoning administrator. They did nothing to contact us. So Shelley's been in negotiation with them, and they have offered 300 trees. But their proposal, if you read the report, is they just want to get 300 trees and have them delivered to a township property and dropped off where the residents can come and pick them up. So Commissioner Johnson and the zoning administrator and I discussed this, and we didn't feel that was acceptable. We feel that they're getting off pretty good for only 300 trees instead of 700 trees, and we feel that since the original plan was they were to be planted, that they can plant them now. That's our suggestion. We felt that, one, where does the township have property where 300 trees could be dropped off? Number two, most people are like me. They don't have a way to move trees or dig holes. Most people have a shovel and a wheelbarrow like I do. They don't have a skid steer or a loader tractor. So that was the conclusion we came up to, but it's a commission, planning commission issue to discuss and give direction to the zoning administrator how she would like to respond. So we have what was agreed to, that they were supposed to be on the site, elsewhere on the site. We have recommendations, we have suggestions from outside. And so I guess we just want to talk about how do you all feel we should direct the zoning administrator to go with this?
They didn't plant any of the 700 then, or they did?
No,
plant?
they did not.
One?
It was supposed to go on Junior Staley's property, I believe his wife or ex-wife's property. Now, Mrs. Staley has been issued a check from NextEra. She wanted to plant on her own. So that's
Do you know if she ever planted any?
I don't know, that's between her
Oh, I
and.
read that in there.
Yeah, I do not know.
What was the value that she was?
Okay, well, that's,
So the original agreement was for 700 trees, 701 trees.
700 trees, yes.
Then they were forgiven.
Well, and,
So none of them were ever planted at all,
right.
but some of the ones. that
There were
placed-
some delivered and never planted anywhere, and they died.
We know how many were delivered.
I do not.
Cause I thought some were planted.
I do not. Oh,
You said none were?
I don't believe any on Staley's.
See, trees were planted, the 700 is what they were relieved from
Yeah.
around Junior's.
Yeah, there's been trees planted around the solar project, yes.
Right.
But these 700 were not.
And the neighbor people told me that they were stored and lined up somewhere in the area of the big transfer station.
Yep.
The power thing. And they told, I said, well, it's too bad they all died. They said, died, trucks came in, loaded them, hauled them away.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I know
Well, and
that,
this is from
Yeah.
local people
Right.
telling me, so I have no proof, I'm
All right.
secondhand. But
Right.
because I said, well, we're trying to work on whether you would get some of those trees. Well, they're gone, they loaded them up and hauled them away. And I was like, well, that's kind of nice to know, you know, because I told them, I said, there'll be trees available if you want some.
And do we know what the value of the trees that the lady was paid for? Was she,
Not.
how many was supposed to be on her property?
oh, on Mrs. Staley's?
Yes.
What, you mean what she was paid for?
What was the count that she should have had?
That I do not know. I know it was a 700 combined, is my understanding.
If we, you know, if they paid her for her portion, we can't very well ask them now to,
Well, and I think that might be why they offered 300 instead of the 700.
okay, so that makes sense. But then planting has got to cost as much or more than the tree itself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the labor.
I
And,
don't know,
and,
trees are
and,
expensive.
And somebody's got to babysit them for a month.
well, and my thing was, they expressed in the report here that they want to use a local nursery. Well, I doubt a local nursery is going to bring 300 trees on one truckload. It's going to take several truckloads. So if they're going to make multiple deliveries, why can't they deliver them to multiple places? Why would they say, let's just bring them to the township property and drop them off? Now if we did move on and offer them to the property owners surrounding the solar site, it's gonna take some work on our part to contact them, see if they're interested, how many, how we would divide them up. But,
Is there a size also?
I don't think,
The reason I ask that is my parents, years ago, 65 years ago, did a DEQ, DNR thing. They had a program where you get pine trees for free. So Dad ordered 3,000.
seedlings,
He went down with his truck and trailer, and the guy come out with a little bundle about this big, around 3,000 trees under his arm.
yeah.
No, because it stated
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah, they're about-
the kind in a ball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a root ball, and it told how they were root balls and what they were supposed to be. So they were supposed to be like you would have somebody doing around your house. No. they-
Couple feet.
like the-
So 4 foot,
4 foot.
Like the ones you see,
Probably,
like
yeah.
the ones you see that are there, the ones that are planted.
Isn't it approved he wasn't allowed to?
Well, Paul approved it. Our current zoning administrator, I asked your zoning administrator is allowed to make minor changes to a site plan. I asked our current zoning administrator, I said, in your opinion, is changing 700 trees a minor change? And it was her opinion that it was not. It probably should have come back to the PC.
Right.
But
It's a variance.
we are where we are, you know?
It was a vacuum after August of 24.
Yes. Yes. So this is the situation we're in. Personally, I feel 300 trees. At first, they said no. They said Mr. Banfield, who was the architectural engineer, said that everything was completed. But we said there's 700 trees missing, so the zoning administrator went to him, what are you offering? So they come back with 300 trees. I personally think that's a pretty fair offer, but I feel that they should be planted. I don't feel that they should just drop them off and Like I said,
I agree.
people are, I'm almost 70 years old. I'm not gonna go out and wrestle the trees around, dig a hole and put them in.
Well, I wonder if we work with like, and this might not be an option, but like the FFA, because I know they did stuff with grievers.
Yeah.
Where maybe as like a community project, they could plant trees around the township or something.
Within the site plan landscaping agreement, did it dictate what type of trees?
I'm not sure. I think there was trees and shrubs. And I know that the zoning administrator has talked with Tim Vanfield. And he said that he does not approve of planting additional trees where trees are already planted. Like putting them in between because they've been,
Well, and there's space for growth.
yeah, they're spaced for growth, which is why we hired a professional landscaper or landscape architect. So that's why we kind of put the suggestion out. If landowners around them wanted more to plant, maybe staggered out somewhere else. I don't know. But this is why we brought it to the PC, because it really is a PC decision.
That is an option for those affected that haven't been offered anything. I think also landscaping, once all this gets done around the hall and the fire station, but that's still gonna leave a bunch of trees out of that 300.
Well, my only problem, this is just me, with putting them elsewhere is that is what Paul agreed to when he said the 700, you don't have to put them there, but they need to go on the solar site. That's just my interpretation of it, or my
Oh,
feeling.
he
on
did
it.
say they needed to go on the solar site?
Yeah. I don't know if it's in, I know I have read that somewhere. I don't know if she included it here in the. I don't think she included it in here.
Yeah, let me see, 2025.
Oh, yes, right here. Let's see. Right here, it says, the letter from Paul Anderson dated August 30th, 2024 confirms his approval of minor change to site plan per section 12-11 Amendment C, minor changes landscaping. This section allows the zoning administrator to approve minor changes. Landscaping approved on this site plan that is replaced by similar landscaping to an equal or greater extent. Although it was agreed that the trees did not have to be planted on the Staley's property, it was agreed that the trees would be planted elsewhere on the site. So that's why, in my site, they need to go around the solar. But that's for us six here, six of us tonight to decide.
Well, is there a way we can get them to do that, or they said they can't?
Well, that's what we're here to do, to give the zoning administrator a directive to go back to, like a counter offer to them, say, yes,
So that's-
the 300, but we want them planted.
Well, but see, that's where I see the question. Like Nick just said, could we use some of them around here? If we have them dropped off and then disperse it ourselves, and then, because if we have them have a contractor come and plant them, then they're gonna go back and go, okay, we're gonna plant them on Solar City properties. So nobody else can use them.
Well, if you look at the January 30th, 2026 entry, it looks like NextEra is going to submit a new application. As far as the trees are concerned.
Formal letter, I see what you're saying.
So to kind of negate what Paul agreed to. For
Will you
their-
by chance have that letter from Paul Anderson that he sent?
I don't, but I believe
One
Shelley,
problem I get into with this, and I think we had this one other time, is if we had a representative from our township tell them one thing, it's hard for us to go back and tell them something else. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, Steve said, we only gotta do this, but Dwayne said, no, you gotta do that. Who do they listen to?
right,
Somebody's already gave them approval for one thing. How do we have the authority to go in there and change what that person did?
I
I mean,
believe,
I agree, they need to do something, but
I believe Shelley does have, a record of the correspondence with, NextEra. I believe she does. From Paul. And I believe she does have the one with the statements too.
yeah, well, we got this letter in here from Nexter that says what they're gonna do. But
Yeah.
I guess you gotta give them credit for at least doing that.
Well, yeah, like I said, I thought, it's kind of a mess, and I feel that their offer of 300 trees is, to me, is acceptable. The only sticking point is
Like you
who-
said,
who's
get them
gonna,
in the ground.
who's gonna plant them?
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with
Yeah,
that.
I think,
Thanks for the.
they were supposed to plant them in the first place, so why can't they plant them now? That's just my view, but,
And being a professional company, they should know that shouldn't have been kosher to have somebody say, yeah, forget about it.
right.
But they hired a contractor. And that's kind of part of the problem. They hired a contractor to plant the trees, then when they looked at the blueprint of where to plant them, the contractor hired to plant them, looked at the kind of thing and it said, don't plant them here, don't plant them there. They did what they thought they needed to do. They ran out and the people the solar people went like, well, we just hired them to do it. Township didn't say anything.
Township suggested that contractor. If you don't remember, they asked what was needed for Cereal City Solar. And they asked, and so they had, Banfield go out and create a plan
Yep,
of what was needed for it. So then he came up with this plan, and then the board hired Banfield to
right.
be the one to do it.
He was the hired landscape architect.
After the board had approved him to make the plan of what needed to happen from a thing.
And I think that's why he said, he would disagree with planting trees additionally where they already have, because that was his plan, was for, like you said, further, when they mature.
I'm just saying.
And I understand that, yeah.
Contractor was chosen at the time by the township board.
Right, yep,
So Banfield was the one that drew up,
Yes.
he decided what needed to be done, and then they hired him to do what he said was needed to be
I
done.
believe so. I wasn't on the PC at the time.
I had a hard time at that time, because I said that's a conflict of interest, but I was not on the board.
We didn't get a second,
Nope.
you didn't get a second opinion,
Never
didn't
got
get a second in.
opinion, nope.
Just,
And I remember as an audience comment saying that, bringing that as like, you didn't even get a second opinion.
they just said, he's good, go.
So, it's just hard because it was a board decision at the time. The hard bit is, those 700 trees that were part of his plan to be on those properties, and then that got changed by Paul. So,
That's where I'm at too. I mean,
yeah, I know. It's-
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't agree with that decision, but it's
it was a
done.
decision.
So we gotta do the best we can with what we got now.
Yep.
That's,
So Banfield doesn't have anything to do it anymore, right?
well, he has said that, in his eyes, the contract is completed.
I think he's pretty much exhausted his efforts as
Yeah,
per what his
Yeah.
contract.
So he's gonna go back to, so if we get any money for 300 trees or any number of trees, it's gonna come from solar.
He's been paid,
Yeah, I think his contract
So
is
the big
completed.
question in my mind,
I
you
think.
know, the big
not
question
sure.
in my mind here, who negotiated the difference between the official first layout and how much he was paid after 700 trees were taken back off, you know? Because we weren't privy to the check that was wrote by Solar to Banfield,
That plays into our
Yeah,
discussion.
right?
so,
I don't know, it's hard,
So how many landowners are out there around that thing?
boy, that I don't know, you know, we'd have
Not very
to.
many.
Because that's their recommendation is to other landowners.
and they have
And
trees
then
around.
and then they're also saying several landowners didn't want it. So they're saying, well, hey, get to 300 and ask other landowners around that area. So
And if you drive by and look at it, they've already got their trees. The ones around the houses have gotten the trees. With the exemption of the halfway house thing, which is really weird to me. But around the halfway house thing, they don't have a fence around the halfway house, they don't have anything. The trees that they planted are way out at the fence around the solar, except for along the road. And then they allowed to plant crops in between, which planting crops in between is really better than all these little shrubs. In essence of, you know, shielding what you see all the time. So it's a hard, you know, it's just a hard call. I understand the idea that if you have them deliver 300 trees, who will come get them, and will they just be a handout to people that really aren't deserving of them?
things have changed, the numbers have changed. The site plan was changed on approval from Paul. In line with those changes, could we change it from trees to shrubs?
Well, I think it's trees
Would
and
that
shrubs
be-
based on this.
More palatable to the area residents, to whomever else, you know? Would that be an option instead of trees?
Well, there's 50, you see his plan, if you look at what his plan is, he did like an evergreen shrub type thing, and then some kind of tree, and then part of it, there's two lines, there's some kind of a
Staggered pattern.
bushy thing, which is what deadens your sound and your vision a little better 20 years down the road when they grow up.
Right?
So,
smoke fence or not.
Is there more information that we need to get as far as discussions between SCMCCI and NextEra? I know this is pretty much up to date where everybody stands right now, but are there any other questions or options that,
Well, that's what, any options, I think, are what we're here to decide, because the NextEra has submitted their proposal. What they've said is, we'll give you 300 trees delivered to the township. So I think the ball is in our court to
accept that, or
to say, yeah, this is acceptable, it's not acceptable.
So if we don't accept it, what's our proposal going back to them?
Right,
well, it says donate approximately 300 shrubs and trees.
yes.
Shrubs and trees.
Is there a bond on the project?
There was an escrow,
And that's,
but
are we still holding it?
That's zeroed out,
I think it, yeah, I think,
it's been zeroed out.
yeah, I think when the, when the project was completed, the solar part was completed, I think it was zeroed out, wasn't it? The numbers were finished.
So, okay.
So what does everybody think?
If somebody wants to take charge of the negotiation and the whole tree project, I'm fine with passing on my kudos to that person. If you want to have communication with them and reach a conclusion and get it done and put to bed, I'm fine with whatever you come up with.
As far as you mean with
Number of trees.
NextEra?
Yeah.
That's what Shelley will do. That's what we're directing our zoning administrator to
And if
do
we wanted to like counter,
is to go back and say, okay, yeah, we agree with the 300 trees, but we
We want
want,
some sort of latitude to.
right. Yeah, I think what we're looking for is to give her a direction to say, okay, this is what we want.
Yeah.
And then they might come back with another.
We want the 300 trees planted.
We want them planted. We want them planted, yeah. And then see what they come up, they might accept that.
Who's gonna decide where the 300 trees go?
That's the problem. That's the only problem I have with it,
Yeah, I mean,
is getting people to decide.
Well, that's gonna be on us. We're gonna have to contact the landowners.
who's gonna do that though? They are?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
it'll be the township.
Shelley would probably.
Someone from the, yeah. We would probably have, I would assume, we would draft a letter, a form letter, and we would have Carl send it to all the property owners.
Yeah, sounds like a good place to start.
That,
All right.
that would be my, it'd be just like a property notice for when there's a zoning change, so many feet would. And I mean, it doesn't have to be the people right up, it can be the people across the road too, because they are impacted,
yep.
Like, Mr. Denny, I know
Yeah.
he didn't want any, but, there's people on 15 Mile Road that maybe would want some, or on H Drive,
Anybody can see the fence
yeah,
or panel,
yeah.
they receive an offer.
Yeah, there might be some holes in the existing layout where they've died.
Yep.
There's a lot of them that died in the Canvas project. A lot of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. You know how it is when you plant trees, not all of them live.
No.
They just don't.
Yep.
Like you
Well,
said,
that'd probably be
Mount
the
Waters
first
are
thing,
taken
is
care of.
to
Right.
replace the ones that gone their way on the site. Then what's left of those 300, then we go outside the fence
Yep.
and around the initial area. And then what's left of that, here or there, up and down Michigan Avenue.
Michigan Avenue, you'd have to involve the state probably to get permission to
Yeah,
do it.
not,
Not gonna happen on Michigan Avenue.
yeah, and I think this pretty much says it's to be on the site.
Yeah, or here, around the fire
But
station.
that's, we'll need a motion to direct.
Start writing.
Well, if no one else wants to make a motion, I move that we counter NextEra's offer of 300 trees delivered to the township with 300 trees,
300 shrubs and trees.
300 shrubs and trees to be distributed among, to be, how can I say this?
Installed.
To be delivered and planted with, boy, this is tough.
Yeah, that's where the getting
To,
it
to,
out. Be delivered and planted
to neighboring properties of the solar site. And then we'll just have Shelley go back with that. See what they say. They say absolutely not, well, then we'll deal with it from there. Made that hard for you, didn't I? You can mop it up any way you'd like. And then we can vote on it. If we don't approve that, then we can come up with something else.
How much did your sister spend on trees? Didn't discuss that, did you?
No, they got a deal because her dad, her father-in-law used to, be a landscaper. So we knew somebody, but he got like 50 trees, so.
I support the motion.
We'll have the recorder recite it in English for us.
Okay. Commissioner Sly, motion to counter, I guess, NextEra's offer of 300 delivered trees and shrubs to the township. I'll rewrite it, but
Okay.
counter it with 300 shrubs and trees to be delivered and planted to neighboring properties of the solar site.
There you go. I like that. That's basic, and I like to keep motions as basic as we can.
My only question is, if they do say yes, and then people don't want them, is they just get out of planning?
Up to them to knock on doors and say, hey, we got free trees and shrubs for you. You know, where can we plant them?
Maybe we should put with the remainder to be determined by the township. Any remaining to be
With any remaining, yeah, with any.
to be distributed by the township.
I still support it.
We're down to Township handling 299.
Well, then we'll just, I guess maybe we just call and tell them, well, we don't need that many then, you know, hey, maybe we'll get out, they'll get out of it. I don't know, yeah, you know,
This is a
that's
counter proposal.
That's entirely possible. I mean, we could send out letters to the landowners now, say, got more than I want to take care of now. We don't know. But it's hard to go out and say, hey, you know, we want to give you 50 trees and don't even know if we can, you know? So we gotta have a starting place.
All right, I just added with the remainder to be distributed to the township.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you want to read that back and then we'll vote on it?
Not really.
So we all know what we're voting on.
Okay. Motion to counter NextEra's 300 delivered trees and shrubs to the township with 300 trees and shrubs to be delivered and planted to neighboring properties of the solar site with any remaining trees or shrubs to be distributed to the township?
By the township.
By the township?
By the township.
By the township.
And then,
Now, this is basically though, just a negotiating point.
yes.
'Cause they might come back at us with
They
saying,
they might-
we'll give you 200 trees.
Yeah.
and we will plant them.
Yeah, they might say, we'll give you
So
150
Shelley had,
planted. So then, yeah,
Shelley can okay
Right.
that, or does they gotta come back to us again?
I think.
she would probably have to come back to us again for PC approval.
Because we're still dealing with a major site.
Yeah,
plan.
yeah, I would say that's
I'm
not
just
a
saying,
minor.
this could go back and forth for
It
a
could.
long time.
It could.
So I think both sides are looking for.
No, we still
Yeah,
got
they
time.
wanna
It's
be
not
done with
planting
it.
Oh, I
season yet.
know.
They want to be done with it, so.
Even though it was supposed to be done 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor,
Aye.
signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I didn't vote.
There. That's the hardest part of the whole night. Okay,
And if
moving
there's
on.
extra trees, I'll take them because I'm about to buy a bunch from the NRCS plant sale.
Okay, we're there. Okay, zoning map review committee. Is there any updates on that from our 3 zoning map committee review members?
About all I've been involved with, or the committee has been involved with, is some information. That's the latest copy right now of all the changes we've been working on or corrections for the last year. So,
We have a map
yes,
in here
yeah,
that Brent, which is a little different than that.
okay,
If you look at the State Farm property,
right.
it's split zone, and I questioned that, and he went back and he got that from past maps and from the city. I questioned Joanna about it, and she said, she said, we can question him about it. I said, no, I think his research is a lot better. I'm just questioning, I never see that, but, so.
There's still a few questions out there, but we're really close as far as a map. And other than that, what I've been working on, we've had all the 425 agreements posted to the website. So I've been trying to reconcile what's on the website, with what we have in our actual 425 folders. And Joanna's been doing some changes, looking up things for me. I've been noting things and we're sending them to the Dr. IT, and there's just a couple more questions, and that part, the folders will reflect what's on the website.
So you're just syncing the website and the folders, okay? So does everybody, do we all feel comfortable with this map? To send to the board to have the clerk sign it?
I think it looks good.
Joanna's been the main cog in this as far as discussions with Brent.
Mm-hmm.
The county. Are there any outstanding questions that you're aware of that she has?
Not that I know of. She hasn't expressed any to me.
And, I haven't seen anything on the email chain.
Yep, nope.
On this.
I think she's pretty satisfied with this.
And there will always be.
There's always gonna be
possibility
updates.
Of updates.
And we can do that, and then we just have to have the clerk sign it. But we haven't had a signed zoning map in forever.
Yeah.
And when I reviewed this map for tonight's meeting this last week, the only question I had was on that State Farm, I didn't know that it was split zone. And then when I read Brent's email, it made sense to me that he put it that way. So
I don't remember seeing that.
I think he just sent that to Joanna and she forwarded it to
Okay,
me.
and that's fine. Because State Farm has been one of the big question marks hanging out there.
Oh, boy, hasn't it?
So when you say split zone, you're taking the split where it's red and yellow
Yep,
on that section?
one part of it is what, low density residential, and the other is,
And it actually makes
It's
sense.
highway
because
service.
That would be a continuation of housing here, but this could be used for gas station or restaurants.
Yeah, highway service commercial.
and it really,
That really makes sense.
presently it's controlled by the city, but,
Right,
so, but we wanted to put our zoning in there too, so.
right.
'Cause
Okay, cool.
It's owned
Because
by,
that's not in any of our records.
it's owned
That
by,
I've come across.
well, that's what I questioned, and, I mean, I don't know if I can, I have to search what. I'll try to find that email and then I'll send it to you. He went back to like 66, I believe, or, it was quite a ways back, he found a map. And then he went with what the city had. I don't know if the city's changed the zoning on that, it should have went to the, JPC, but, who knows?
Yeah. Okay,
But that was the only question I had. I don't know if anybody else has got any questions on the map. I think it's pretty accurate from what I can tell. Brent's pretty thorough in his
do appreciate
investigations.
the time that he's put
Oh,
forward
he's
on
put a lot,
this.
yeah.
And Chair Johnson and Vice Chair Sly and.
And the
whole committee.
zoning map, you
Enjoyed
three
everybody's comments and inputs on this thing.
you three have put a lot of hours in on this, and it's very, very much appreciated by this person.
We're a lot better than we were a year ago.
And hopefully, if we are successful in getting an in-house zoning administrator, it will be a lot easier keeping these things up to date rather than have to go back in time. And I mean, there's so many things that we need to get caught up, files, and that's a whole nother subject. Anyway, so, do we all feel comfortable with this map, sending it to the board to have the clerk sign? I guess I'll just put it out there as a motion. I move that we send the presented zoning map to the Board of Trustees for approval and have the clerk sign, signature by the clerk.
Support.
Will you repeat that?
Okay, I move that we send the presented zoning map,
Okay, I got that, yeah.
presented zoning map to the township board for approval and signature and to be signed by the clerk.
Okay.
Supervisor.
Well, that could be,
Clerk and supervisor.
supervisor.
Okay. Supported by Woods.
Any discussion or any questions? Everybody good with that? Okay, we'll take a vote on it then. All in favor
Aye.
signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Good enough. We're zipping right through this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, next item is the township board. The township board approved a moratorium resolution ordinance on battery storage systems and data centers.
Didn't we, sorry to interrupt, didn't we learn something about that at that
Yes.
training?
It's gonna take, I think, what was it? It's gonna take, an ordinance
That's what I'm trying to
from, I
remember.
think it was from us, from the PC.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna take an ordinance.
We all started talking when we heard the
Yes.
info, and
And
that's why I
think-
can't remember.
I'm
what
gonna
she-
have to ask the chair on that, because I'm sure she took notes on it. I believe that it actually requires an ordinance from the PC to go to the board
Recommendation.
for the moratorium.
Goes from here to the board, instead of the board down to here.
Yeah,
Here to the board and back, okay, so,
yeah.
Question about it.
So,
The language, was it drawn by the township attorney?
I believe so, yes.
Reason I ask that is the class I took today had a section on moratoriums. They say it's be very careful because
Yes,
moratoriums technically aren't an approved method in the state of Michigan. But for a short period of time, it's,
right.
not over, a-
It's to show that you're working on it.
yeah,
But we
you
also,
just can't moratorium it and shut
yeah,
the
it's
door
supposed to
on it.
like 6
You gotta
months
go
to a
back and get
year,
ordinance.
and no longer.
Continue the work.
we also learned that just having a moratorium on it doesn't stop it. A developer can go right to the state.
Well, and one of the things too is you have to provide a place for it.
Right,
Like Emmett Township, when they did their marijuana, the place for it was in industrial areas.
exactly,
That kept them from putting it just anywhere they wanted to
exactly.
for the grow operations. Yeah. So as long as you provide a place for it, and if it happens to be undesirable to them, then they'll keep on going. But to put it alongside of a populated lake, type setting, that
Like,
seems,
that
seems
Marshall.
undesirable to me.
it does.
I think it should be, you know, right next to Ford or something, in a heavy industrial area.
It does seem strange where they're proposing it in the city of Marshall, but to me, I think, I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence, but the ITC is putting a big high-tension line down through Marengo Township on an angle, and I think it's coming pretty close to that, so I think that probably had some bearing on it too, be able to get some power. I don't know, that's just my layman's
Yep. They did say that,
interpretation of it.
that in your regulations for it, you can limit size too. So if you're, because they can be as big as 2 football fields,
Yeah.
and they can be as small as a little shed.
And the good thing about data centers are, they are not covered by, what is it, PA 233, that governs the renewable energy, your solar and your battery systems, where they can bypass the township and go to the state. This isn't covered under there because it's not a renewable energy. So that's one good thing. Okay, move on to master plan update. All we know about that is it's going on and we have another workshop, the 11th, here. And it's going pretty well, I think. Any updates from anybody else on the master plan or questions?
On the 11th,
I believe it's the 11th, yes. I think it's at 6 o'clock.
yeah.
Yes,
6:30, 6 or 6:30.
6.
Put that- Oh, yeah, right here. Yep, 6.
It's next Wednesday.
The only thing, I was a little disappointed in our open house. We didn't get very many people. I was hoping this place would be packed, but you just don't get participation. Just don't. So.
And we need to advertise a tax.
Yeah, well, we didn't get a good review on the survey, but that's, okay. JPC update. She's got me here for this, but we have 2 JPC members here. I think maybe one of them could give us the update on the sign package or the sign ordinance for Family Fair. All that it was just approved. I don't know if there's anything else to say about it.
No, not really. The JPC approved a sign proposal from Family Fair that did not meet the city's ordinance, the new ordinance that they just put out. And unbeknownst to Family Fair, they took down their old sign just prior to their understanding that the city had just put out a brand new ordinance. So being that it was a 425 property, the city zoning administrator submitted the proposal to the JPC. And the JPC members present that evening, gave the okay for the out of ordinance approval of.
Larger sign.
Yeah, sign
Oh,
package, so.
so is that the sign that's larger? I didn't think it looked too.
That's not the new one.
Oh,
No, that one's coming down.
Yeah.
oh, okay. I was like,
I
that
was
seems
in the
small.
store this afternoon and talked to the store manager, Bruce, I forget what his last name is. He said that, they have to make the sign yet.
Oh, okay.
That's in process now, so it's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, they took the sign down and painted, not knowing that, I think the sign they had was out of ordinance, but it had been there a long time. And then the city made the ordinance smaller is the way I understand it. So it's kind of a technicality. They took it down, but, well, I guess they want to put a new one up, so,
This is on the building.
yeah, the one on the building.
Facade of the building.
Yeah, because they have the small sign up now, and I was
Yeah.
like,
And it
that's
seems a
not that
little
big. But that makes more sense.
Redundant because we have new businesses coming in and they're probably gonna ask for signage on the one in the driveway for the new businesses to be added where that one's on the road to come.
The new businesses to come will have to follow the city's ordinance
Yeah,
that's in place.
I'm
now.
anxious to see how big the sign on the Ford plant's gonna be, because it ain't very big.
Just follow the lights.
Yep. Zoning Board of Appeals. All I can say on that is there were 2 issues before the Zoning Board of Appeals, 2 variances. One was on J Drive and one was in the Squaw Creek area.
2 blocks over from me.
And they were both denied by the Zoning Board of Appeals. The one on J Drive,
Are there minutes for that, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. Or,
I think Joanna took notes. I don't know if she probably didn't submit them to be, I don't know if she probably did.
Jeff would have them.
Yeah,
I just don't know if they've been posted yet. I meant to look at it. One of my tasks today, I haven't gotten around to.
I know the J Drive one, they denied it because it was gonna make there's a non-conforming lot. And the property owner wanted to purchase 77 feet from the property in front of it to make a better, well, they wanted it so no one could build in front of them. But if that property owner in front sold them the 77 feet, that would make their lot non-conforming. So I think that is the reasoning why they denied that one. And the one in Squaw Creek was a proposed building, home, that was
Bigger than the lot.
bigger than went into the setbacks too far by not much, but there were options, they could change the plan or turn the house or whatever, but that's why that was denied, was because it didn't meet the setbacks. Okay, the Converse Township Invenergy Special Land Use Update. Nick and I were there last night. It was quite interesting. We learned a little something. The Converse Township Planning Commission voted to recommend the special land use permit to the Converse Township Board for a battery storage plant or battery storage facility.
And the site plan.
And the site plan. And the one thing we learned, I shouldn't know if we learned it or not. The battery storage BESS systems are not considered agricultural like solar. So they're considered commercial industrial. And what was bad for, the residents around there didn't want it, which I understand. But what really was the clinker was their ordinance. Converse Township's ordinance allows battery storage systems in agricultural zoned areas. So they really couldn't say no. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't stand up. So that's food for thought for our future land and our zoning.
How did that get in there? I mean, like,
In their not in their master plan, but it was in their ordinance. Actually, in their
But they already
ordinance.
had an ordinance?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The ordinance
they had an
already
ordinance.
had it in there, which
Yeah,
Yeah, it seemed
Well,
like that was,
yeah. I don't know when their ordinance was updated, but yeah, it is different because we don't even have anything for BESS yet. Which, so that's note to us. It's considered industrial commercial.
As such, the special land use permit.
Yeah. Okay, zoning, any questions? Okay, zoning administrator position update, that's in progress. We're waiting for Supervisor Bowser to arrange a meeting. I am informed that it's to be with the candidate, the supervisor, the PC chair, and the PC vice chair to work out an agreement, a wage and working agreement. And so we're waiting. Dave's got to set up a date for that. Okay, PC training completed by members. The MTA Lunch and Learn Seminar, that was pretty good. I thought that was a good hour spent, very informative. And then Commissioner Riggs and I attended a battery energy storage system training in Cooper Township last week, and that was very good too. It was very informative.
there was a lot of info on,
There was a lot, it was just a little over an hour long, and it probably should have been 2 hours or 2.5 hours because they went so fast, but it was really good, and that's where all this literature came from. I'd be interested in having them come and put on a little training for us if they would be interested.
who did the zoning case review, top takeaways?
Pardon me,
The 2025 zoning case review.
The zoning case, top takeaways from the 5 recent, that I don't know.
I'll have to ask Joanna.
Part 1. Zoning, 25 zoning cases review, part 1, top takeaways from the 5 recent Michigan zoning related cases. That was February 19th. I didn't do that one. Did not do that one. Okay, and then under opportunities, Michigan Association of Planning. Apparently there, I don't know, apparently there's a training opportunity there along with the MTA conference, April 20th through the 23rd. And a data center know-how for planners and officials webinar available now on demand. That's interesting.
I think that's probably the video of what we watched on the 18th,
It could be, yep.
I think, because they said they were gonna post it.
Yeah. So that brings
Are
us,
there any takers on going to the MTA conference in April? Any interest from anybody?
If we weren't so busy at the farm, I would.
I'd have to look and, I'll have to look and see what classes they have there or what training they have. Joanne and I went one day last year. We spent the whole day up there. It was pretty good, but I just went one day. I'll have to see what they've got. I'll have to look it up.
That's the one in Grand Rapids.
Traverse City.
I think, I remember looking in the last township MTA magazine or whatever, one of them was on zoning, so I think there is a zoning one, and the other's on like financials, like.
They have several breakout sessions.
Yeah.
I think that Monday one, which really isn't covered underneath the plant program, that's probably one of the more interesting. It's an all-day session.
Yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Traverse City, that'd be
Yeah,
about a night.
I got a brother out there, so I'm like.
That'd be one of them things. It's too far to go and sit there all day and drive back that night. That's way too far. That'd involve a night, at least one night. So that's why Joanne and I went up to Lansing last year. They had something there at the downtown center there. It was pretty good. There's a lot of people there. They covered a lot of stuff, but, okay, well, any public comments? Mr. Wright? No comments?
Talked way too much.
Commissioner comments? Commissioner Summers, any comments?
Not really.
You good?
Just other than, my observation that on the zoning, that so much properties that are not 425, but owned by Maida have me concerned across, particularly across the street from me. By this zoning and this map showing 425 agreements of what is the city, everything down through Michigan Avenue is still township property. Correct?
Yes.
Everything is not purple. Well, it's controlled by the township. Yes.
So, I've been in contact, tried to make contact with them because people are asking me all kinds of questions about the log cabin house, and nobody wants to talk to nobody. Well, don't want to talk to me. And I guess maybe I should talk to Carl and see whether they have paid for a demolition permit or what they're doing. Because this state of Michigan officially informed me that I don't have to worry about anything because from where they stopped the 4-lane to Ackerson Drive has not have a plan determined yet, so nothing would happen
26.
until 27.
Correct.
And
All those fire hydrants out in the field
Mm-hmm.
are unusable then, probably.
well, it's
They got
nothing-
they got the
it's
water
nothing
line.
to do with us anyway.
Oh, no, but we're just talking, they're not gonna build that until 27, huh?
But those are on township property. Well, no, partially,
They'd be on land that Maida
partially,
bought.
but they jog, the fire hydrants jog and go behind Borders property. The Borders finally sold, and I've had conflicting told to me by different people. But someone came in and showed me that Borders got millions of dollars for that 30 acres.
I'm sure they did.
But what my proposal to them would it be possible for somebody to purchase the log cabin house and move it across the road? But they don't seem to want to answer.
Are you interested?
Yeah, I heard that Dwayne would help finance the moving.
Well, it ain't gonna get moved very far then. It ain't gonna make it across the road.
Well, it's just, just the people that tell me, people that have been in that house tell me that it's magnificent inside.
It probably is.
And talking
Oh, You're talking about the house, not the vet.
right, we're talking about the house.
Okay.
The,
Borders live.
the conversation I had with New Horizon Property Management, who's been down there boarding the windows up, they're hired to board the windows up, and they strip the siding off the garage and are taking things and moving stuff around and doing stuff around there. He told me that sometime in the next 2 months, they would demolish it. Which makes absolute no sense to me. Their endeavor that something has to be demolished before a whole other year goes by,
It's made a decision. They own it.
Right. So, that's just, but the township will have control of what, still has control of what that property is used for. Because according to this, this would show that it is zoned agriculture.
At this point in time.
Just for this. But, so when they apply, I guess my question, who determines the okaying for that to be changed to 425?
Maida will submit a 425 proposal to the board.
And the 425 is granted with
in accordance.
evidence that they will develop it? Or that they just
You
wanna?
have to meet the requirements first.
Yeah. And they had,
So what is the 425 requirements are that they will use it for
have
something?
to have a planned project.
Right.
Has to be a planned project.
And we've got thousands of acres.
Well, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it supposed to be zoned commercial?
I was gonna say, it should
It's,
be
it's
in
supposed,
theory.
according to the master agreement, it's supposed to be zoned commercial or industrial
First, before it goes.
before it can be 425 to the city.
So,
Now, there's been properties that haven't been, but that's,
Leads me to my question. I wonder, from Mick, has the board talked at all about potentially correcting some of the missteps with the 425s on the property, like everything west of 13 Mile, that there's no planned projects for that they 425 that,
We have a committee that's in discussions
Okay.
with the city and MEDA.
and with a
And I'm
425
not sure if
attorney?
that's one of the topics that's being discussed or not, but I do understand, everybody understands,
Yeah,
from the board to the committee to the planning commission,
yeah,
understands that particular predicament
yeah.
that we have worked ourselves into.
Uh-huh.
And I can't speak too much onto it because it's just negotiations, but I will say that we have another meeting with the city this week. The 425 committee is meeting with the city on Friday.
And those are ongoing.
Yeah,
So, those are ongoing.
yeah. And hopefully when you come out of that, the 425 information they have will match what we have. So we have duplicate, I mean, so I'd hate to have them think that they're gonna, after so many years, acquire the property when we have information that says we're gonna acquire it. Follow?
Yep.
They should match, so they won't get into a,
That's the big conundrum.
One hopes.
all right, keep us posted, please.
Things are being discussed. That's
Okay.
the best I know, and that's what's been told to me, and I know we have two very capable people, plus a township attorney
Yeah,
that's involved in these good discussions with
well,
the
it's
city.
amazing that those things could happen with a township attorney involved from the beginning. How did they?
There's another rabbit hole.
Steve, just stop. We'll start calling you Roger.
Done.
You're going down a rabbit hole, but yes,
Beating that dead dog again.
it's understood.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Woods, any discussion comments or?
First and number one, I would like to really thank our recording secretary for the completeness of the minutes that she does.
Amen. She does a
Oh, I
great,
was like, oh yeah, thanks for doing this.
She does a great
For
job.
us, for the minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an easy job, believe me.
It's, you know,
Sometimes they take as long as the
Yeah.
meeting.
fantastic job.
Thank you.
Fantastic job, I appreciate it. I went to MDOT's presentation on their year 26 construction plan that's already started evidently this week.
Yep.
And I haven't driven down that way to see exactly what it is, but they had everything laid out on the tables and stuff like that. So Michigan Avenue is really not going to be touched this year in front of Rogers, but they're doing construction to I-94 and Lead Mile Bridge area,
Ramps, yeah.
entrance and exits and things like that for this year. Plus, they're still going to be completing from the plant into the diverging diamond, whatever else they got planned for that. And hopefully it's lighting and more signage.
You're getting signage up anyway.
So, but, appreciate, there's been crews out there all winter doing something. And MDOT has really pressed that. And the weather has not been good for some of those crews doing what they've been doing. So it's been kind of brutal for them. I appreciate what little bit they've been able to accomplish due to the weather. And they're still having accidents up here. A lot of it's just people are driving too fast for conditions, and they're not paying attention. But as everybody becomes more familiar with it, I'm not going to say it's a crazy design, but now that I did say it, it's a crazy design. But it is what it is, and people are just going to have to learn how to drive safely. And in the board meeting, our roving patrol deputy sheriff, most of his business is out here on this stretch anymore. He's calmed down a lot of other neighborhoods around the township.
He's a pretty good deputy.
Yeah, Brad Deputy Brad, good guy.
And I'm not a big law enforcement guy, but he's pretty good. He's a pretty good dude. He's a pretty good dude.
And just my last note, everybody probably knows, but we have changes coming to the board.
Yep.
And
Stay tuned.
stay tuned, more to come on that.
Stay tuned.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Buller, any comments?
I'm good.
No. Commissioner Markounis? You're good? One thing I'd like to say is welcome back, Mr. Commissioner Buller. Glad to have you back. Hope you had a good time in Florida. And I want to echo the same to our secretary. Thank you for the wonderful job you do. I appreciate every minute of it because it is not fun.
No, it's not.
It's a tough job. I've taken I took minutes like one meeting and then it was not fun. It's not fun. So
You're
with that,
welcome.
my comments are completed. Anything else by anybody? Oh, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor by saying aye? Aye.